Hey everyone, what's up? This is Dr. Charlie PT. Hope you are doing well. In this video, I want to share with you a real live, candid conversation I had with a woman who's been in pain for multiple years. She's been told she has SI joint problems, disc problems, piriformis problems, all the usual stuff that people reach out to me for. And what I did is I got on a call with her and helped her walk through the Diagnostic Guide, DIY Diagnostic Guide. By the way, you can download that if you click the link above for free. I actually recently updated it, so check that out. And when we got to the end, she said, "Thank you. Nobody's ever talked to me about this stuff," right? And then, 2 seconds later, she started to say, "Yeah, but, and what about this, and what about that?" And then she hung up on me. So you can't make this stuff up. This is the day in the life of dealing with people who are very much indoctrinated into the traditional medical system. You're trying to help them out. You're trying to save them, if we will. And what I've recognized, that you can't save people. You have to just help people make the most informed decisions. You have to plant seeds. And so this is my attempt at planting a seed. And again, if you haven't already checked it out, check out my DIY Diagnostic Guide. If you go through the whole thing, it will definitely plant a seed in your brain as well. And then after you watch this interaction, I want to talk to you about what happened, because there's a couple beliefs that hold this woman back and or will hold this woman back as she moves forward. They're very obvious to me, but I want to lay them out clearly for you so that you don't get blindsided by them as well. All right, so let's check it out. So if you've had a lack of response to physical treatment, all aimed at diagnosing and fixing the structural body, and only the structural body, then that is a sign, a clue, a piece of evidence that the body may not be driving all the symptoms.
That's interesting. I kind of want to thank you, because I've never heard this before. Like, I have been to neurosurgeons, I've been to, my primaries, and I'm gonna go see a spine surgeon in a week, and it's just like I've never once I didn't even think this was a thing. So I guess my question is, like, the brain side, there's definitely several things on there that I was like, oh, like, I definitely fall into that category.
Yeah. For sure, you have some evidence.
I've never, like, it's something that I'm like, what? Like, I've never heard that. Like,
here comes the sun, doo 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 doo. Here comes the sun, doo 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 doo. She's gonna hang up on me in a second. So here's what happened, right? She was thankful. Thank you so much, Charlie. And then, yeah, but defense begins, and I would argue. Let's hear what she has to say.
But then my argument to that is like, okay, well, when he touched my sacroiliac joint, I was like, yeah, that's where the pain is. When I got the steroid injection a year ago and the pain was gone for a month, why did it come back? And then if it was a mental thing, then my second and third steroid injection, I should have just, program my brain to be like, well, that worked the first time, it's going to have to work the second time. Oh, it's going to have to work the third time. I didn't even think that was a thing. I didn't even think your brain could tell you something like that. And I don't know. It's like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I've never heard it. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so here's the cool thing. You just look at the writing on the wall. Did you just hang up on me? Ah! Oh, I was trying to help you out. All right, so what just happened? That's what I asked myself at the end. So what just happened? Well, here's what happened, okay? So we went through the DIY Diagnostic Guide, and inside of it, at the very end, there's a video that I call like the missing piece, right? And it talks about creating what we call an evidence list, basically creating a list of clues. A list of clues that help you determine, is your pain mostly driven by the body, structural problem? We'll call that a hardware problem, all right? And or is it a learned experience by the brain, or a software problem? So does your software need some updating, or does your hardware need some updating? There's a difference, and the approach is slightly different. Either way, we still use the power of the brain and the body, or mind and movement as medicine, but there's a slight shift in the way you need to approach these things, all right? And so what happened is as we went through this diagnostic guide, you probably saw, and she even said that she was sort of thankful and grateful, right, for seeing a totally different approach after seeing doctors and primary care physicians and going to see a surgeon in just a few days. And she was like, wow, nobody's ever really shared this. I didn't know that the brain was that powerful, that the brain could cause pain. That's crazy. And then the yeah, but started, right? Well, kind of makes sense. Like, I match most of that stuff. But what about this? But what about that? And it's great. That's awesome. Right? This is part of the ongoing investigation to help figure out the most likely source of someone's symptoms. All right? But at the end of the day, some folks take this as makes sense, seems as though it's possibly being driven by my brain, a learned experience. But are you telling me I'm making it up? Are you telling me that this is all in my head? Are you telling me that this pain isn't real? And no matter how many times you tell people, no, that's not what I'm saying. Do you feel your pain? Yes, I do. Well, then your pain is very real. But no matter how many times you tell people, they almost get embarrassed by it. They take it as something's wrong with them. They're mental. They're crazy. And they're not. And so the intent of me walking this woman through this process was not to convince her of anything, but rather help her come to her own conclusion. Because I've learned over and over again, you can't convince people of many things. They have to come to their own conclusions. And so that is the process of potentially working with someone like myself, and or even going through part of my DIY guide to help you figure out the most likely source of your symptoms. And then you be the judge. All right? Either way, what happened is a little bit of defense started to set in. A little bit of the guard started to come up. Yeah, but, and then it was all over. She hung up on me. All right? And what I want to let you in on are now, real quick, 3 beliefs that got in her way. Here they are. Belief number 1. We are all biologically wired to believe that all pain that we feel is physical or caused by some physical problem within the tissues of the body. I have a pain in my butt, Charlie. It's got to be something in my butt. It's got to be my piriformis, my sciatica, whatever. It hurts, dude, right here, man. It's right there. Are you telling me I'm making that up? No, you're not making it up. I never said that. You're putting words in my mouth now, okay? But I am telling you that the brain can mimic and or cause you to feel any sensation. And pain is just an unpleasant sensation, unpleasant sensory experience. So, your brain, a software sort of issue, needing a software update, some retraining, could cause shoulder pain, could cause neck pain, could cause knee pain, could cause back pain, could cause butt pain, could cause you to have pain when you run. That's the third belief. We'll get there in a second. But that's the first thing, is biology. All humans are hardwired to believe that all pain that feels physical, pain right here, is and can only be caused by a physical structural problem. It's not true. Second thing, the world, images. And so, modern medicine has used what was once a tool to rule out big, ugly, scary things like tumors, fractures, infections, as something that is commonplace to try to diagnose aches and pains, MRIs, X-rays, CT scans, nerve tests. I don't know exact stats, and I'm not sure we'd ever be able to figure it out. My guess is that not all of them, but most of them, especially for folks with back problems, butt problems, leg problems, are unnecessary. And so what happens is this. Person goes, sees back doctor for back pain that is unexplained. It's one thing if you fall off a bus or get hit by a bus or fall off a bike and you have bruising, you have some trauma there, right? Cool. Go get an image. Let's just make sure nothing's broken, right? But, bent over, felt a little twinge, woke up, back hurts, been sitting for a long time at work, now I'm starting to get an ache in my leg. Not an egg in your leg, an ache in your leg, whatever. Non-traumatic back pain. And so what happens is you get an x-ray, you get an MRI, and guess what? They find something. Surprise, they find something. And they pin it, they cause your pain on a hardware problem. Disc problem, joint problem, SI joint problem, piriformis problem, bursitis problem. I mean, the list could go on and on. And that thing is here, right? It's like, I saw that thing. And it's so black and white. And it's like a train wreck once you see it. You can be like, oh, I didn't see that. I'll forget about it. But you can't. You can't unsee it. And so at the end of the day, this is why evidence shows clearly that people who get x-rays and MRIs for back, butt, sciatica problems do worse than people who do not. So this tool that was designed to help us rule stuff out, make sure we don't have cancer, tumors, fractures, infections, things like that, has backfired on us and has backfired on society and has further reinforced with very black and white evidence that, yep, did you see? There's a disc problem. Oh, did you see? Oh, there's a joint problem. I know because that really smart person wearing a white coat told me that was the issue. So, further reinforces our belief, which we grew up being taught. If you have physical pain, you know, there's probably something wrong with your knee. There's probably something wrong with your back. Probably something wrong with this and that. Then you go and the doctors reinforce it because that's what they get paid to do. And because you go to see them and you say, I want an MRI, I want an x-ray, there's something here. And you're upset if they don't find it, then they tell you something's wrong, so you're not upset. And it further indebts you to the medical system. So, first belief that's holding this lady back and holding everybody back. So it's not just her, it's everybody, okay? To understanding that pain can not only be this physical thing, but can be this non-physical thing. Can be this, not only this hardware thing, but this software thing caused by brain. Is biology. We're just hardwired to believe that all pain that we feel is physical. Second thing, the world, right? Modern medicine, x-rays, MRIs that just kind of label us with these diagnoses. And the third thing, probably saw that guy going past on a bike, and remember the runner earlier? Learned responses, programmed responses. But Dr. Charlie, my pain is there when I run. And so they associate this mechanical thing, right? And when I do that mechanical thing, that's when I get pain. So it must be mechanical. It must be structural. It's because I'm jarring my spine. It's because I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Or Charlie, when I sit, it's a positional thing. I'm stressing out my joints, Charlie, right? I read all this research where like you bend forward and you know you're sitting and you're increasing the pressure on the spine or on the discs. Well, you might be, okay. But that one piece of evidence doesn't mean anything, but people jump to it. And because people associate in their brain doing certain activities or being in certain positions with the pain that they feel in their back, butt, or leg, they jump immediately to must be a structural problem in the body. Well, maybe, but it could just as easily be explained by having a programmed and or learned pain experience. Do you truly believe that you couldn't learn to experience pain while doing a certain activity? If every time you run, or if every time you ran for the past 6 months, year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and you felt pain in your back, butt, or leg, that you couldn't learn to associate running with pain? Of course you could. If every time you sat down, you sat on a whoopee cushion and that thing shot off in the middle of a large crowd or a party or something like that, right? That would be quite traumatic, wouldn't it? And you could learn to experience that if it goes off enough. Every time you sit, whoopee caution, whoopee caution, whoopee caution. You better be cautious about that when you sit down next, but whoopee cushion goes off. Sit, sit, sit. You start to say, I don't know if I want to sit because I might right? And so this is the pattern. You can condition yourself or program yourself to experience pain or sensations with certain, what seem like very physical activities or positions. You'll want to blame it on posture. You'll want to blame it on, well, no, I think this time I was running a little different. Of course you will, because it goes back to the first belief that you biologically are just wired to go back to that. That's okay. It's normal. Okay, so hopefully this was useful. I shot this video to help you just see, not only inside of my world of kind of what I go through to try to help educate people on what pain is and what pain isn't, and sort of the cause of symptoms, especially after people have gone through lots of other stuff, but to also help you see the traps and the power of belief. Because what you believe will inform your actions. It will inform what you do. And so I don't know what this woman did or will end up doing, but it's likely that even when it has not worked lots and lots of times in the past, it's likely that she will continue to do the same thing and ignore the evidence. But at the end of the day, all I can hope is that I planted a seed for her and for people like you. Okay, so pain is a very powerful thing. Your brain is the CEO. Your brain determines what you should feel and what you shouldn't feel. And it can make anything that seems very physical to you, can make any part of your body hurt. Doesn't mean that pain isn't real. Just means that it's more complicated than you've been led to believe. All right, so let me know your thoughts on this. Hopefully this was helpful. A little bit of a ramble because I'm on this little walk and talk, and hopefully this video quality is okay. I think the last video I posted, video quality was not okay, and hopefully the wind didn't get to us too much. Either way, let me know your thoughts below. Hit the like button, thumbs up, and then hit the subscribe button for notifications when we go live with other videos every single week. Thanks so much, everyone. Chat soon. Let me know your questions below.